Joyce and Zhang are gearing up for their much-anticipated rematch, and the big question on everyone's mind is, who will come out on top?
Somebody stop me!
And more importantly, how can you cash in on this bout? Keep watching to find out. First things first, let's take a quick trip down memory lane and recap their initial clash. When I revisited the fight, it was clear that Joyce took quite a pounding. He found himself wobbling in the first round, and Zhang landed some solid punches in the second. Joyce managed to eke out the third round solely through his volume of strikes. In the fourth, the judges seemed to favor Joyce's busier approach, but in my opinion, Zhang deservedly claimed it with the cleaner punches. As the fight progressed, it became evident that Joyce's eye was getting worse with every punch Zhang landed, and that the fight could be stopped at any time. And in the sixth round, it was stopped due to the swelling around his eye. A couple of observations. Joyce struggled to hurt Zhang and didn't seem to have any answer for Zhang's left, which he was landing at will. Zhang's southpaw stance and size didn't quite fit Joyce's typical style, where he relies on his size and reach advantage to bully smaller opponents. Zhang landed effectively but conservatively, preserving his energy. Interestingly, at the time of the stoppage, two judges had Joyce down by 1 round, and one judge had Joyce up by a round, which, let's be honest, seemed a bit absurd. Now, you might think that after the first fight, Zhang would be a solid bet at even money. However, a closer look at his previous fights reveals a pattern. Zhang tends to slow down considerably after the 6th round. For instance, re-watching Zhang's bout against Hrgovic, he dominated the first half of the fight, only to lose the majority of the second half due to inactivity. He should have won due to the knockdown, in my opinion, but the point remains. Zhang's activity tends to wane in the later rounds. So, what can we expect in this rematch? It's a hard one to predict, as I anticipate a start similar to the first fight, with Joyce fighting a bit smarter, for starters turning to Zhang's right to avoid his power shots. Unfortunately, I don't see Joyce being able to change too much in his game plan against the more skilled Zhang. While he's still fresh, he can only improve so much between fights. Zhang will shine early and likely inflict some damage on Joyce, taking advantage of his square stance and subpar defense. The key factor will be whether Joyce can adapt enough to avoid excessive damage that might prompt a stoppage. If he manages that, he will likely win several later rounds purely through volume. In hindsight, more time off to allow his eye to heal might have been a smart move. I'm not banking on Joyce to stop Zhang. His punches had little impact in the first fight, and Zhang's solid defense and iron chin make him a tough nut to crack. Therefore, Joyce's path to victory is most likely on the scorecards, especially considering the fight's location in the O2 arena, where the judges may sway in his favor during close rounds, much to the disagreement of many. All in all, I think this fight will either end with a Zhang stoppage midway through the fight, or Joyce will win a close, possibly even a split decision. Now let's talk betting strategy. If you're considering live betting, I recommend waiting until the 5th or 6th round to assess the damage Joyce has sustained. If it appears likely that he'll make it to the end, consider betting on Joyce or a Joyce decision. The odds for these outcomes should be high, given Zhang's strong early performance but probable decline as the fight progresses. For pre-fight bets, it's a hard one, as there are a lot of variables that can affect the outcome of this fight. Normally, I don't like to bet against myself, but because this fight is very unpredictable, I want to cover the two most likely scenarios in a Zhang mid-fight stoppage and a Joyce decision victory. I'm placing half a unit on Joyce by decision at plus 310 and 0.33 units on Zhang in rounds 5 to 8 at plus 500. I also placed a small wager on Joyce to win in rounds 9 to 12 at plus 1,000, just in case Joyce is able to overwhelm him later on in the fight. However, I really think this fight is best for live betting so I will have 2 units ready to bet on Joyce if he hasn't taken too much damage. Stay tuned for the rematch. It's bound to be a roller coaster ride. And good luck. If you like this video, please subscribe.